after North Korea claimed its airspace was violated by drones. President Lee Jae-myung has vowed a swift probe, warning that civilian operation of unmanned aircraft would be treated as a serious crime threatening national security. Pieces of the drones and aerial photos were said to have been recovered by North Korean forces after the aircraft were reportedly shot down. South Korea's military has stated that the drones in question were not operated by its forces and that no provocation was intended. A joint investigation with North Korea has been indicated as possible, though no formal proposal has been made. Tensions between the two Koreas remain high, with previous attempts at dialogue by Seoul unacknowledged by the North. I request Mr. Leong to join me back in the discussion here with his first comments.
Yes. Well, I think that both North and South Korea do not see eye to eye on many things, and not least the question of unification, because many years ago, South Korea still held out the hope, or both sides, of some sort of eventual unification. But then that hope is now totally lost, because the North Korean regime is diametrically opposing to it, because they see that any kind of attempt in that direction means giving up the Kim Jong-un regime if the country pivots towards democracy. And then, of course, the North Korea is so totally fed up with the so-called six-party talks on the denuclearization of North Korea, because the nuclear armament is regarded by North Korea as its insurance policy against American bullying. Because they're all fed up with the so-called six-party talks, which have been going on for years and years and years without resulting in anything meaningful for North Korea's security. President Trump could step over to the side of North Korea and shook hands with him, but at the end of the day, the United States was not prepared to concede anything, and in fact demanding almost total surrender on the side of the North Koreans before they even think about relaxing the kind of economic sanctions and so on. So that's not a very good deal for North Korea. And now Kim Jong-un is totally giving up on that. Is focusing on acquiring nuclear weapons as long-range delivery systems as a kind of deterrence against any bullying by other countries, particularly the United States. And that, of course, divides deeply the kind of attitude towards the United States between North Korea and South Korea, because in South Korea there are still American forces stationed there as part of the American-South Korea defense agreement. And of course, any kind of antagonism or confrontation between North Korea and the United States could easily drag South Korea into the quagmire. Now, coming back to these drones, it could well be that some civilian South Korea accidentally or even intentionally have this drone incursion, and that's why the South Korean government would like to conduct an investigation just to show the North Koreans that it's not intentional with any military purpose. But of course, when in the tense relationship in these two countries, any kind of attempt is not going to put the relationship on an even keel.
All right, sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Leong, for your assessment of the situation. And with that, viewers, we move on now to some science news. Astronomers have discovered the fastest spinning large asteroid ever seen, and the fighting